This video and this information could change your life. Just sit back, relax, and treat this video like a podcast and just pay attention. Hear me out for just a few minutes. Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you today? Listen, today I'm gonna give you an in-depth video pretty much about Bitcoin. Now, it's not gonna be too long, but it's still gonna be in-depth and it's still gonna be very good. Now, I actually believe that Bitcoin can hit very, very high prices. Now, I'm not saying these prices just to bait you guys in or just to be one of those people, but we have to think about this logically. I genuinely think in the next few months, the next 12 to 18 months, Bitcoin can go from anywhere from 300 to 500K. And I'm not joking right now. So the reason why I say this is because the ETFs are very powerful. Right now, we're on the gold chart, and you're wondering, why am I showing you gold? Well, two things. People say pretty much Bitcoin is like the online digital gold, right? And it's just a much more sped up version, which I agree. Number two, when Bitcoin got its first ETF, pretty much right? And then it got its other ones here. Look what was starting to happen with gold. And yes, this is on the 3-month chart. So yes, it was taking a long time, but you got to remember things were different 20 years ago, okay? The manipulation was different. The amount of money, how fast this world runs and is accelerating and going was just much different back then. It was so much slower. Everything was so much slower. Now everything's going crazy. There's much more money. Things are moving left and right. You understand? But pretty much we had pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps for years. Okay. And the thing is, it was like, okay, well, that's cool, but that was on gold. You know, the ETFs might be different, but here, no, this is just one of the ETFs. Okay. Pretty much BlackRock. Okay. They are buying around $800 million worth of Bitcoin a day. Okay. If we pull out our calculator right now, let's take 800 million that they're pumping in every single day, okay? And let's just divide it by 70,000. Let's just say it's the all-time highs, okay? Divided by 70,000. You have 11,500 Bitcoin bought per day. Do you understand how much that is? Right? And that is at 70,000 price. That's not at 60,000, 50,000, 45, 55. You know, it's not at those prices. It's at the all-time high. So they're buying more Bitcoin than this. So you got to understand things are going absolutely crazy. And okay, that's one thing. They alone are buying this many Bitcoins, not counting anyone else in the whole damn world. Okay? Now, what is the next thing? Well, there are more ETFs coming out in just about a week, right? So as you can tell, the final deadline is in March, right? So pretty much in about a week or so, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now these two are a little bit later, a few days later, but pretty much 8 ETF approvals in March. And I believe they're going to get approved. You should be optimistic that they're going to get approved. If the first one got approved, there's no reason why the other ones can't get approved, okay? That being said, now I'm not going to say they're each going to buy 10,000 Bitcoin per day, but you got to understand there's going to be a lot of money getting pumped in, okay? Things are going to go crazy. Number 3, as of right now, we are only pretty much producing 900 Bitcoin per day in terms of mining, okay? If we just take the first ETF to this, we are pretty much buying 11 times more than we are producing, right? And that is not counting anyone else. We're going to count anyone else just for this, okay? Now, that is an insane ratio, but you know what's even more insane? That in about a month from now, this number is going to get deleted. We're going to get half of the amount getting mined. The halving is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand how big that is? Look, if I show you this picture right here, right? We have the cycle, we have the bottom, then we have the halving. These dotted lines are the halving. Every time the halving happens, right, there's a little dip, and then boom, 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 massive rally. Why? Because we're mining less Bitcoin. So there's less supply. And then there's going to be, naturally, when there's less supply for something, usually automatically there's more demand. So just think about this right now. We are pretty much here at the all-time highs. Yes, we may get a little dip. Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But pretty much the long-term picture, guys, think about this, right? If we just count the first ETF and the mining, that is pretty much like a 1 to 22 ratio, not including anyone else. Now, if we include people and we include the other ETFs that are looking to get approved and that will get approved, oh, just think about it, right? It is going to be absolutely insane. Now, here's another thing, right? What happens when there's going to be a lot of demand, but no one wants to sell? That creates even more demand, right? That creates even more demand. If these people are just going to hold like most of them have throughout just many years, that brings down the available supply less. Because let's say, sure, there's 21 million in circulation, they're all bought up. Let's say, for the simplicity, that let's say 11 million Bitcoin are not for sale because people are just going to hold. That only leaves half the Bitcoin in supply that are available to buy, which brings up the demand even more, like I just said. And guys, and then in a couple years again, the mining is going to get cut in half once again. And eventually, everything's going to be mined out. And we're going to reach a point where Bitcoin is genuinely going to be so money that it might genuinely hit the millions in 5 to 10 years from now, when things are going to be different. There's going to be a lot more $1 trillion in the market. And if this does become a global asset, which is probable, then guys, history will be changed. Things will be changed. And not to mention this like a little narrative, but everything is going digital nowadays, and Bitcoin is digital. You got to understand. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my analysis on Bitcoin. Like an in-depth little quick video. If I was supposed to give you a very quick analysis, right, of what's going to happen. So pretty much very simple, okay? It is absolutely simple. We're going to put the penguin here. It's going to be inverted, right? It's right here. You notice how there's a spot here? It's because his head is supposed to go like this. So his head is going to go right here. And then he's going to fart. And then he's going to fart. And he's going to release gas. And this Bitcoin is literally going to go to the damn moon. We are going to go literally to the moon, to another whole planet, to another whole solar system. It is crazy. I'm telling you guys. Obviously, that analysis was jokes at the end. But seriously, on a serious note, Bitcoin right now, this looks, when we zoom it out like this, in like a year or two or a couple of years from now, when Bitcoin's like at this price, right, we're gonna be like, damn, this was so small compared to what it is now. And then we're gonna say the same thing in a couple of years when Bitcoin's gonna be all the way up here. We're not gonna think it's possible, but trust me, guys, anything is possible. If the world leaders want it to be possible, it will be possible. Just remember that.